YouTube, Current6693 here to bring you gaming and anime news, as well as anything that I find interesting. Today I want to talk about the Fast and Furious 7, some new news that I've heard about Fast and Furious 7. Apparently, as you guys know, before I'll get into that, I'll give you a brief history of the Fast and Furious films. Like the first, I'd say, three or four Fast and Furious films had a focus on racing. Then there were usually a larger plot involved, like a drug lord or some Japanese gang, somebody important they have to take out. But usually the emphasis was on racing, was on your ability as a driver. In these drug lords like needing drivers to complete missions and people going undercover. But Fast Five took a different approach, and I think they did this to draw more audience. It became more of a heist film with skilled drivers instead of it became an action movie with racing instead of a racing movie with action. And this was well received by pretty much everybody. I think pretty much everybody liked Fast Five, and also Fast and Furious 6 as well. Even though there is one concern that I have about Fast and Furious 6, but Fast Five was really good, and I think that the biggest pro is the addition of The Rock. I think The Rock was. I think that role really brought out just how badass The Rock is, and people saw how big he's gotten. But yeah, the Rock pretty much hit it up in the movie, and I mean it was great. Um, the movie was really well done. I like the change in direction, but I like how it still had a focus on the racing. It just didn't completely abandon the car scheme. Um, and then Fast and Furious 6 just came out like a couple months ago, and that was also well received. The only problem that I would say that I have with Fast and Furious 6 is that I would even almost say that it feels it is getting it swayed a little bit too much on the action side. Not saying that I don't like action, but I mean the genre. The genre, like, I think it needs to have a balance between racing and action. And Fast and Furious 6 went a little bit on the far side. Um, it had racing in it, but I just thought it went a little bit on the far side. To the point where at the end of the day, I was like, okay, this is just an action film. But I mean, it was a great movie. It was good. It was good. Don't get me wrong. I love Fast and Furious. Now, Fast and Furious 7, as you guys know, they were trying to push out a release date for next year, which would be 2014. And The Rock said that he wouldn't be able to come back. And also the director, I can't remember his name, but he said he won't be able to come back either because they were trying to push next year release date because they had limited resources and they wanted to go ahead and get the movie out. But basically, a lot of people are like, we won't be able to do the movie because we got shit to do or there's not enough time. But James Wan, if I'm not mistaken, or the guy who's been doing like the horror films like Insidious and I think The Conjuring, or maybe not Insidious, I don't know, but that guy who does those really good horror films, he's he is going to be directing Fast and Furious 7, and a lot of people are going to say that he says he's going to add a lot of tension to the film. So I'm guessing there's going to be some deaths. So basically, yeah. First, Dwayne Johnson said he could join the movie, but now it's actually said that he said no, I'll come back. So that's good. So The Rock is going to be back. Because in my opinion, that's what I was afraid of when I heard the news. I was like, because think about how big The Rock changed the game for the Fast and Furious films. I mean, unless he dies, you can't go back. You like once you have a character that changes the game like that, you can't go back. So. Yeah, I was kind of worried about that. Now, apparently Denzel Washington was offered a small role in the film, and then it was going to be expanded into the next Fast and Furious 8. So, but he turned that railroad down because apparently I'm guessing there's going to be some kind of small role which is going to go out into something big in Fast and Furious 8. But in my opinion, though, I'll be kind of honest. I wish that Fast and Furious 7 was the last one. I don't think there should be any more. Not because they aren't good films; they're great films. But you know what I mean. Like at some point, some things have to end. If you know what I mean. Like there's 7 films. Like come on. Um, like I think Fast and Furious 7 with Jason Statham should definitely be the last one. And so if you guys don't know, yeah, Jason Statham. Jason Statham is the brother of the main. Well, I would say spoilers ahead, but by this point, so yeah, Jason Statham. You find out it's a brother of the main villain of the Fast and Furious 6 film. And Tokyo Drift takes place after all the Fast and Furious films, and now it takes place after Fast and Furious 6 at the end. And when the Asian dude, when he gets hit by the car and killed in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, you find out that it was actually Jason Statham who did that, because he's killing off the members of Toretto's crew, as revenge. So I think that's why I'm saying Fast and Furious 7 should be the last one, where Jason Statham just goes ham and he just like kills off like half the team. Well, maybe not half the team, but you know what I mean. Like shit's gonna go down. So there's that. So please let me know. Are you guys excited for the next Fast and Furious film? Are you guys excited that The Rock is going to be in there? What about this new director? He's really good at having tension and just those moments where you're just like, oh god, is that really going to happen? So I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. I do wish that they kind of mix it in between racing and action though, but not to the point where it just becomes just a typical action movie. It still needs to have a focus on racing, even though I know that people love the fact that it changed course. But me personally, I'm still a fan of having the racing, the nice looking girls and just that whole scheme. So I hope that he keeps the focus, but please, make it action packed, have some nice fights. I would love to see a nice, and also apparently Tony Jaa from Ung Bak is apparently going to be in the movie too. So I would love to see some nice action scenes from Jason Statham, maybe like Jason Statham versus The Rock or him versus Vin Diesel. But in my opinion, Jason Statham will probably kick it. As tough as The Rock is, Jason Statham will probably kick some ass. So it's also Tony Jaa. It's gonna be a great movie. I cannot wait until they release a trailer. Please let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited for the next film? Do you think this should be the last one? Do you think there should be more? How do you feel about Jason Statham being in the movie? How do you feel about The Rock being back? How do you feel about the whole thing? Let me know. Rate, comment, favorite, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Current 6693 out.